Hey there, Dana Bloomquist here. Been a Pampered Chef consultant for 12 and a half years. And I'm going to show you how to make basil pesto in the Twist and Chop. This is our new mini food processor, and it is a game changer in your kitchen. You won't believe how fast it processes. It has just two on buttons. One is on and the other one is pulse. Very sensitive, so you have to be careful when you're maneuvering it. But let me just show you how this works. It's just kind of boggles my mind. So I'm going to turn it on. It's a little loud, but you'll see how the blade works. So the fact that it goes up and down means it is processing everything in the bowl, and it's not just processing what's at the bottom. So I found that to be really helpful when making things like salsa and making basil. So I'm really excited to show this to you. So I use a real simple basil pesto recipe. We have a seasoning that you can use to make basil pesto also, which is really tasty. But I have lots of fresh basil, so I love pesto. So anyway, I'm gonna start this. So this comes off really easy, and it's very safe. It will not start unless this is on the top and snapped shut. So I'm gonna open it. Blade comes out like any food processor. But I'm going to add, this is 2 cups of fresh basil. Just going to shove it down in there. And it'll get smaller quickly, as you'll see. So we want 2 cups of fresh basil, and then I'm going to add, this is 1/3 of a cup of pine nuts. You can also make basil pesto or make pesto with walnuts, and I think other people have used almonds too, but I really like pine nuts, and I get these at Costco, so they're a little less expensive, but they're still pretty pricey. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on. All right, this says the recipe says to pulse a few times, so we'll do that. I'm going to turn this sideways so you can see it a little bit better. There's a lot of basil in there. Now it's coming together really well. Okay, so then it calls for 3 cloves of garlic. It says to mince it. This is our garlic prep tool, by the way. It has a lot of ways you can make garlic, or you can slice it, you can mince it, and then it has a little catcher bowl. And all these pieces go in the dishwasher, and you can make paste with this. So, and this is your cleaning tool right here, and it's just inside this little silicone. I'm not sure what you call it, but it's what you use to peel your garlic. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to move this out of the way because I'll knock it. So that's just going to get all of the skin off, and it says to use minced. I'm just going to put the whole thing in there because I think it will work just fine. Didn't do that. Oh yes, I did. I got it. And I'm using 4 instead of 3. I really like garlic. Can't have too much garlic. It's kind of like you can't have too much cheese. So we're going with 4, and they're pretty good sized cloves. I'll just make sure I don't eat it for lunch when I have a client meeting. All right. Oops, I didn't do that enough. Oh, you can't quite see that, can you? Sorry about that. Anyway, you just basically roll it like that on your pastry or cutting mat. And I still didn't do it enough. So let's see if we can get this in a position where you can actually see me doing it. There, I felt it that time. And it's a very stubborn garlic clove. There, now I heard it. All came off. All right, we'll put that in there. All right, and it says to just pulse it for a few times. Okay, I can tell it's already mixed in there pretty well. And then I'm going to add the olive oil. So I have a half a cup of olive oil. Now, one really cool feature about this food processor, the Twist and Chop, is that it has this little recessed area on the top of the lid so that you can just pour liquids in there, oil or water or whatever you need, if it's something that calls for milk, and it drips down in there. So I'm going to turn this on. Okay, the oil is almost, I'm using probably more than you would normally use for most recipes, but I'm using half a cup. So now I'm gonna scrape this down a little bit so I can finish adding the oil. It was a lot of basil. Okay, turn it on and finish up the oil. All right, and then I'm going to add, this is a half a cup of grated Parmesan cheese. And I'm also going to add just a little bit of salt and pepper. I found basil pesto often needs a lot of extra salt when I'm eating it on pasta. All right, so we'll go a couple more seconds. And I believe we're done. And there's your basil pesto. And if you live in Albuquerque, I have about 5 more of these full of basil that needs to go. So give me a call. All right, thanks for watching.